We lost all of our employees within an 8-hour period. And so it was a huge adjustment. My name is Daniel Tolles. We have a family company that has restaurants around the Inland Empire in Southern California. They're called Corky's Kitchen and Bakery. I'm currently in an operations role where I'm visiting each store location and making sure that the operations are running smoothly and effectively.
The city of New York is entering a state of lockdown.
Non-essential? How can they say that? I'm essential. Flowers make people happy.
How did you learn that you needed to shut down your business?
So we found out mostly on the news. There was a lot of information going around, a lot of uncertainty. The news had come out and basically said that we're going to close down. I think LA County closed down first, and we had 2 locations in LA County. So we met up in the morning after hearing the news that LA County was going to shut down, and we had to go down to those 2 locations and figure out what our next steps were. We're being shut down. Obviously, we can't afford to have anybody on the payroll. There's no business coming in, so we had to go and talk to all those staff members, unfortunately, and basically tell them that they no longer had a job. Laying off the employees was the hardest part, I think, of the entire pandemic. Obviously, there was a lot of work within the pandemic, but having to go and basically just look at a call roster of names and some of these people I'd never even met before, and having to call them and basically tell them that they no longer have a job, there's no other income coming in. Unemployment talks have been talked about, but they haven't been rolled out yet, and so we didn't know what these employees were going to do, and we didn't know what to tell them. And calling some of these people and not knowing their names, like, hi, this is Daniel from Corky's. I know you've never met me, but I'm calling you to let you know that I'm taking money out of your pocket and food off of your kitchen table for the night, and that was rough.
How did you adjust your business during the shutdown?
I think within 12 hours of hearing the news, luckily we had a great staff at our sides, and we were able to get curbside parking signs and banners made to hang up on our buildings. We posted a notice on our website all within the first 24 hours. Woke up early in the morning, drove out to the locations. We're staking signs into the planters of the parking spots to let people know that we were open and that we were still supplying services to them. But you have to remember, we lost all of our employees within an 8-hour period. And so we retained our management staff. The way we looked at it is if you made that leap to become a manager with our company, that you had shown a certain degree of loyalty, and we were going to show that right back to you. And so after having to furlough most, if not all, of the hourly employees, the management team pulled together and stepped in, and we were running our operation. Instead of having a full staff with 10 servers and 5 cooks and dishwashers and bussers, we now had 2 managers, one on the phone, one running out to the car, switching back and forth between taking orders and running into the kitchen and trying to make this food that normally wasn't under their wheelhouse. And so it was a huge adjustment.
Did you see anything positive come out of the situation?
No, absolutely. I think people were very desperate to have something like that. I think people were very grateful to be able to come out, enjoy a meal. I mean, we had all of our tables separated. We had plexiglass in between all of our booths. We're trying to make it a safe environment while also still trying to stay afloat. And I think that the community that did come in was very grateful for that. And we got to kind of grow together as a community. And just an example of that, when we started doing our grocery sales, some of the employees that we had on that were helping with the grocery bags, getting them together for customers, were actually getting tips from the customers that were coming in. And some of the customers were tipping $20, $30, $40, which in the face of everybody losing their job, that was huge. And the employees actually pooled all their tips together and were using that to buy groceries for the employees that were still furloughed. And I thought that was a really awesome thing in the community, that our employees and our customers were coming together, pooling their money together, and buying much needed goods for employees that had been furloughed, or community members that had also lost their jobs that still had kids to feed, and they were supplying groceries for them. And so that was huge for the community coming together.
Are you still dealing with repercussions from the pandemic?
Well, we're absolutely still dealing with a lot of the repercussions. It's gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot easier. We're still really struggling with staffing issues, and people are so eager to get back to the way of life pre-pandemic that they're not necessarily understanding of of how short-staffed we are and how hard it's been to transition. And so, our, like I said, you've got half the customer base that is just happy we're here, and we've got half the customer base that is, expecting what they got beforehand. That we're not necessarily able to provide the way we used to. We've had to really change a lot of our processes and a lot of the ways we look at customer service in that regard. So this is something that will affect us for the rest of the life of the business, I guarantee.
What is one thing that you would change about how the shutdown was handled?
If I could change how the community received the information that was coming out and decided to take it more in everybody says we're in this together, but I didn't really see that happening. Everybody was very certain about what they heard on this channel versus what I heard on this channel, and this article that I read versus this person's article, and it was so divisive that it was hard to really see through it and figure out what was real, what's going on.
It's confusing. Depending on the channel you watch, the story changes.
What do you mean?
Watch for yourself.
If I do this, is it going to upset this person? If I do it this way, is it now going to upset this person? And there was just a lot of divisiveness. And so if I could change anything, I would somehow try to change the way that the information was received.
Where do you see your business 1 year from now?
In 1 year from today, I hope to see everything back to pretty much normal. Nothing will ever be pre-normal. Everything's going to be a little bit different, but I'm hoping that the community is able to get out there, stop living in fear, that we can kind of squash this a little bit and move on with our lives and kind of see a full dining room with families dining together, exchanging stories and breaking bread. I mean, every major conversation I felt is over a meal, and we've been able to provide that for our people, and I would love to start seeing that happen again.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing and sharing this video to continue to support this project.
And if you'd like to support us financially, please click one of the links in the description below.
For more episodes and content, please check out our socials at Hindsight 2020 Musical or visit our website, hindsight2020musical.com.
We'll see you next time.